Hello everyone, welcome back to Fight Tonight channel. WBC lightweight champion Shakur Stevenson will look to put on an impressive this Saturday night on July 6th in his title defense against Artem Harutyunyan in front of his home crowd at the Prudential Center in Newark, New Jersey. The need for a statement victory. Stevenson's contract with the top rank expires with this fight, making him a promotional free agent. That's why he must look as good as possible against Harutyunyan to get the best offer for the next promotional company he signs with if he chooses not to stay with Bob Arum's top rank. Shakur cannot turn around their performance like we saw from him last November and in his fights against Oscar Wildes, Jeremiah Nakatila and Robson Consecao. In terms of true talent and potential, this undercard is arguably better than the Anthony Joshua vs Daniel Dubois card on September 21st. Stevenson feels that he is the best fighter in the lightweight division, and he can't wait to prove that by beating the top fighters like Gervonta Davis. However, it's questionable whether he can win a fight like that on a scorecard without being stationary. To beat the big names, Shakur must stand and fight because the judges aren't going to give him rounds if his game is based on playing tag and then dashing away. That style will work against fighters that aren't popular, but the judges won't give Shakur a decision if he fights like that against Devin Haney. If Shakur stands and fights, he will probably get knocked out because he has no power to keep Tank honest. Stevenson's quest for lightweight supremacy. I'm that guy and I can't wait for that day, so I can't focus on the people that try to downplay my last performance, said Shakur. It's not going to be action-packed when it's one-sided. When you are putting hands on people and beating people up, that's enough. I feel my last performance is a testament to how great I really am. Even on a bad night, I could come out on top against a really good fighter, Shakur said. Arum's grand plans for Shakur Stevenson, a shot at lightweight super fight. Promoter Bob Arum wants to match his fighter, WBC lightweight champ Shakur Stevenson against two other popular champ, Gervonta Davis and Ryan Garcia. Arum wants to resign Shakur to a new contract with his top-ranked company and matching him against one of the big names would be the ideal way of enticing him to re-up for another hitch. Shakur's contract with Arum's company expires with his fight against the recently beaten Harutyunyan on July 6 at the Prudential Center in Newark, New Jersey. The chances of Arum setting up fights for Shakur against Gervonta Davis are slim now. Stevenson has developed a reputation for being a safety-first hit and not get hit fighter who avoids engagement at all costs. Gervonta don't want to chase Shakur around the ring, and they don't desire to have their fights booed by fans due to the fearful manner that Stevenson uses. Shakur's last fight against Edwin De Los Santos was booed loudly by the fans at the T-Mobile Arena in Las Vegas last November because he was running from the slugger the entire contest. Unfortunately, this was not the first time that Shakur fought in a risk-averse manner, as he is done in his whole career, picking his way to world title in 3 weight classes but failing to entertain and only winning fans for those who enjoy watching the fencing safety-first style that he employs. Arum has competition for Shakur's services. However, matchroom promoter Ed Hearn has been vocal about wanting to sign the 2016 Olympic silver medalist, despite not having any popular in his stable at 135 or 40 for him to fight. Hearns only has Andy Cross at lightweight and he is not a big name. He would be a very risky fight for Stevenson because Cross has the same highly defensive, counter-punching style but with more power. Cross is arguably a better version of Shakur without Stevenson's loud mouth and bragging ability. I want to see a real top performance from Shakur, said top-ranked promoter Bob Arum about his hopes for WBC lightweight champ Shakur Stevenson if he successfully defeats Artyom Haratunian on July 6th. It's an exciting fight. It might be better for Arum to let Shakur move on to some other promoter who can try to figure out how to turn him into an attraction. Arum will be up against it right now, attempting to find any big names to motivate Shakur to resign him with a new contract. The legendary promoter Arum does not seem interested in sacrificing Teofimo Lopez or Gervonta Davis for Shakur to outbox and wreck their careers. Those two have more potential to draw fans than Shakur, so it makes sense that Arum is not putting their feet to the fire to use his opponents for the New Jersey native. Arum wants Shakur to change style. I know if he goes in and packs away he can be anybody, but that does not entertain people, and the professional boxing is part entertainment, so I want him to engage in an entertaining fight, said Arum about wanting Shakur to fight in a more entertaining, engaging style in his fights, instead of his usual hit and not get hit manner of competing. Arum doesn't realize that there is no way he can change Shakur's style of fighting because it's too well ingrained at this point, and if he did become more stationary, it will break him. He would be like Roy Jones Jr. when his mobility deteriorated late in his career, forcing him to battle fighters while stationary. Jones was repeatedly knocked out once his mobility and speed disappeared. The same would be true of Shakur. He is too fragile to fight engagingly without getting chewed up by the stronger, taller fighters at 35 and 40. Gervonta has now won the lightweight titles, and he will be a massive fight. Those fighters seemed ready and willing to fight each other, Arum said. Promoter Oscar De La Hoya took to social media to call for Gervonta Davis vs Shakur Stevenson fight next. Some fans believe this is a signal that De La Hoya is planning on signing that talented WBC lightweight champion Shakur to his Golden Boy promotion stable. Assuming Shakur signs with De La Hoya next, it's a tall order for a fight to be made with a PBC managed Tank Davis. I want to see Shakur vs Gervonta next, said De La Hoya, talking about a fight he wants to have next after Gervonta Davis fights in June and the Shakur Stevenson battles wherever in July. The challenge of making a real fight, the Baltimore native Gervonta Davis, has been pretty well protected throughout his 11-year professional career, matched against mostly mid-level top 10 contenders and kept away from the elite guys. Davis will be turned 13 in November, and it does not seem realistic that he or his management will suddenly change their matchmaking to face a talented phenom like Shakur. Shakur's free agency time for an upgrade. Stevenson, a former 3-division world champion and 2016 Olympic silver medalist, will be a free agent after his July 6th title defense in Newark, New Jersey. Thanks for watching, guys. If you like this video, please subscribe to my YouTube channel.